Yo, what is going on guys? ItsQwiv here, welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video I'm going to be going over some basic strafing tips and some advanced strafing tips within Halo Infinite. So if you're new to the game, I will be explaining what strafing is, how you can do it, and if you are, you played a bit of the game or you've played some other games with high kill times, maybe you might learn some stuff about strafing towards Halo Infinite, or just Halo in general. So if you played Halo 5, crouching is a bit less complicated than it was in Halo 5, but it's more close to the, it's a lot closer to how Halo 3, 2 and 1 had their strafing. It's a lot more simple, a lot easier to learn, so it's a technique that everybody should do pretty much. So starting off, what is strafing? Strafing is essentially moving left, right in the middle of a gunfight in order to make yourself more evasive. If you're standing still, like say this guy here, once I'm on him, if he's just standing still, I can hit pretty much every headshot. If I was using a precision weapon, I don't think the AR would probably still miss, to be honest. So yeah, strafing is just Strafing is just moving left and right in order to make yourself harder to hit. So going on to the basics. So when you're in a gunfight, literally just left, right, either AD or left, right on an analog stick. Pretty simple. So when it comes to strafing in general, you don't want to be doing wide curves like this, because when you're just moving in a very linear direction for a long period of time, you become a lot easier to hit, you're a lot easier to track, and it kind of defeats the purpose of strafing in general. You want to do it in like short bursts like this. I mean, you can even stutter step. So stutter stepping is a bit more of an advanced sort of mechanic. In terms of implementing it, it's not too difficult, but implementing it in an effective way is kind of key. So when you're strafing, all stutter step is just stopping and then carrying on. So you say you're using a BR, you just stop for a burst and then you carry on. The reason why this is so effective is if somebody's using a BR, and if somebody's using a BR and they're on you, they're tracking you, just stopping will mean they'll overcompensate for your direction and quite possibly miss that next burst. And with a BR, it's kind of integral in hitting all your shots because how slow the fire rate is. Yes, it packs a punch. Yes, it can 3 or 4 burst you. But if you miss one burst, it can lose you the gunfight. 9 times out of 10, you miss a burst, it'll lose you the gunfight. So how effective strafing is kind of depends on what weapons you're using. BR versus BR, strafing is kind of important because you want the enemy team to miss a burst, because that 9 times out of 10, like I said before, will guarantee you a kill, assuming you don't miss a burst yourself. Also up close, if you've got an AR like this, the AR is a very forgiving weapon. It has a lot of ammo in the magazine and you can miss a few shots without being punished too hard. So if you're up close against a person with BR, if you strafe really well using the AR, you will win that gunfight 9 times out of 10. Purely because it's a lot more forgiving for you to miss a shot and a lot more punishing for them to miss a burst. With how the sniper works in this game as well, strafing is also very effective because controller has lower aim assist on the sniper than it does any other weapon, making it harder to use. And obviously keyboard and mouse, they don't have a lot of aim assist anyway, and the gun is very unforgiving. If you miss a shot with a snipe, you then have to wait about a second for the balloon to go down, and it can win you a gunfight. So like I say, different weapons will have different advantages and disadvantages to strafing. Like if you're using a sniper, 9 times out of 10 you don't want to be strafing unless it's strafing into a shot. Excuse me, sorry, that came out of nowhere. Yeah, you'll find out what category they kind of fall into and what's strong, what's weak when it comes to strafing the more you play the game. Okay, so let's talk about like a more advanced style of strafe. So obviously we talked about stutter stepping, which is where you just stop and then you carry on. Because the game's momentum based, if you look well, you can't actually see my keyboard, but after I stop pressing A, I'll carry on moving left a bit. So to counteract that, you can just quickly press D and vice versa. So just press the opposite direction, it'll stop you straight. So see how it's more of a gradual slowdown when I do that. If I do that, it stops me dead. And this will really help with stutter stepping. So you can even do a really weird strafe like this, where you just stutter step. How effective that is, it kind of depends on the player. If they're a controller player, it's probably not going to be too effective. But now we can start throwing in crouches. Once you get comfortable just strafing in general, hitting your shots while strafing, you can throw in a crouch, which is where you basically just do, as I said before, you just crouch halfway through. This moves your head level, so if somebody's beaming you, that can stop them. However, it's very dangerous to do. It's dangerous to do on the burst that gets rid of your shields, because 9 times out because of the way headshot multipliers work in Halo Infinite, while your shields are up, hitting somebody to the head does no more. Hitting somebody to the body does no more damage than hitting them to the head, and same vice versa. It's only when the shields go down that a headshot multiplier is applied. That's why when the shields are down, you want to aim for the head. Other than that, hit the body, because you know you're more consistent in hitting your shots with the body, because there's less room to fuck up because it's a larger space. So it can be quite dangerous doing this immediately after your showers. Fuck, I can't speak. Immediately after your shields get popped. So just bear that in mind. So throwing these in mid strafe can be very effective. If you do it too much, it will make your shot very hard to hit, and you'll be focusing way too much on your movement unless you're shooting. So I have seen people do like mad strafes and just stop shooting halfway through because they're too focused on strafing. You want it to be erratic enough to where it throws the opponent off, but not too erratic to where you can't hit your shots. And this is the key balance. As you get better as a player, you can have a more erratic strafe and still hit your shots. But when you're starting out, if say you're a bronze, silver sort of person, like you're new to FPSs, maybe just a simple strafe like this will do you justice. Okay, so that is a more advanced way. Also, I don't have access to this in the tutorial, but there is a thruster. So an old technique used in Halo 5 was to get somebody's shields down and then use your thruster to get the last shot. What this does, it moves you quickly out of the way of the enemy. So say you were both hitting shots, both start firing at the same time, your shield's going to break at the same time. So if you then thrust away, it makes it harder for them to hit that final shot on you. But because you are moving kind of like this, you can see them the entire way, and you can adjust your aim while you're thrusting to make sure that as soon as the thrust is over, you hit that last shot. It can throw people off. Good players having a thruster, that will lead to a kill 9 times out of 10, unless they choke really, really hard. So this is just a small introduction to strafing. Very effective. It's very basic at the beginner level, but as you start getting a bit higher up in skill, you'll notice that people's strafes get a lot more complicated. It's not like Call of Duty where you can just whip on somebody, put 3 shots into the head and they're dead. Strafing is a lot more integral to the gameplay of Halo, especially when it comes to doing well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know this wasn't scripted, so like the dialogue in it isn't amazing, but I hope you guys sat through it, and if you did watch it, thank you. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I want to do more of these tutorials, so people showing me that they like it will lead to me doing that. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.